Hey YouTube, it's me TFR Wilderness. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my 250th review. Yes, finally reached a landmark. And I'm not the only one who's reached 250 reviews, because you might know that Thew Adams has also reached 250 reviews, because I got notification this morning that he had posted up his 250th review on Patreon for early access to his patrons. And it'll probably appear on his YouTube channel in due course. And I knew that I was closing in on him in terms of number of reviews done, especially when I did review on Green Farm last week, 249. Just thought I'd mention that. 250 reviews. So what have I got to show you today? Well, it's a figure that's goes with this. It's another figure from the new Hello Carbot movie, Secret of the Suspicious Magic Troupe, and it's the other unique or brand new figure that's come out for that particular toy line. And when I saw it, I sort of wanted it straight away, and I wanted it mainly as an example to go with some other Korean toys that I've bought recently that have a similar sort of theme to them. And also, his over design reminds me of another figure that I've got. Reminds me of this guy. Hello Carbot Starex Dandy, the first Korean toy I ever bought, the first Korean toy I ever reviewed, way back on 28th of April 2015. I love this guy. I mean, I watched some episodes of the show, got to the episode, I think it was episode 8 or 9 of season 1 when Dandy appeared, and I was just blown away by him. And I refer to Dandy as the king of kibble, because if you look at him, he's got all his van kibble just hanging off his body in various places. And yet in the show he was jetting around like a superhero, and I was so impressed by him that I went and got the toy. And Dandy's toy is like really cool. He's really big. He's got he's got lots of ratchets. He's a really cool figure. And this sort of aesthetic that he's got going on with all this the kibble hanging off him, is something that endeared him to me, and the rest, as they say, is history. I've got a taste for Korean plastic, and here we are, 250 reviews, and I'm doing 2 of them a month. So anyway, who have I got? Well, I've got, like I said, the other figure from the latest Hello Carbot movie, Secret of the Suspicious Magic Troupe, and it is this guy, King Dozer. Now, not to be confused with this guy, Hello Carbot Max Dozer, from season 12 of the cartoon show. Was it? Yeah, season 12. No, season 11, sorry. Yeah, season 11. I've got to get it right. Season 11, Hello Carbot Samba, because season 12 was the Hello Carbot Bumba, which is the latest season they've just done. Anyway, yeah, this guy. Now, I bought this guy earlier this year. Had a lot of trouble getting hold of him because my first order got cancelled, and then I had to pay through the nose for this thing because at the time he was selling out in Korea, and he was like scalper bait, and the prices was going up, and I didn't want to get this guy originally because I'm not a fan of the way he looks. I think his robot mode looks very generic for a construction robot, and I didn't want to get him, but I got him because I wanted to collect all the figures from the Hello Carbot Samba toy line, and he was one of them because he's got the Samba gimmick, he's got like his Max Rilla, his Samba animal that comes off the back, and then he plugs into him, and then you get the power up. So I decided to get him. Not a great toy. Like I said, I had a lot of grief trying to get one, and so I did a review on that. And then I did a review, or got hold of this. Did this 27th of August this year. Tobot V Season 3 Power Loader. Now, this guy, again, I think he's very generic in the way that he looks from what he transforms into, but I wasn't going to get him originally, but then I saw Rob Stein 1 do a review on it, and it sort of maybe I'll get it. And I went and got him, and actually he's grown on me quite a lot. I really like this guy. He's pretty cool. And I took him to TM Nation this year and showed him to a few people. And when I did the review on it, it did extremely well, viewer-wise. It's on about 600 views, and it's only been up for a couple of weeks. And I don't know what happened with the review I did on this, but it went a bit crazy. Don't know why. It almost went viral, but well, viral for my standards anyway. But yeah, Power Loader again. Not particularly a fan of his aesthetic, but I decided to get him because I ultimately wanted to do a comparison between these two. But then when I heard this other one was coming out, this guy, I wanted to do a comparison with this guy. So anyway, King Dozer, not Max Dozer, King Dozer. I'm probably going to get the name mixed up throughout this course of this review. Anyway, right. So he is the other figure from this movie toy line, Secret of the Suspicious Magic Troupe. Bit of a mouthful to say, but anyway. So here he is in his alt mode. Now, it's some kind of digger because it's got it's got a bucket that goes up at the front. Unfortunately, the bucket doesn't tilt backwards and forwards. Which is something that Max Dozer's bucket has got, has got a tilt on it, which is more than I can say for this guy. So, but it's got a very small, kind of a small bucket for the size of vehicle, and the hydraulic arms on the front are kind of small. So when I look at this vehicle, and you look round, and it's got these drills on the back and these big sort of clawy things as well. I kind of think it looks like almost like a snowplow stroke snow clearing vehicle. In the high mountains or in places where they get a lot of snow. You see vehicles like this, clearing the roads, big sort of front end loaders, shoveling the snow out of the way, and then they've got like a gritter thing on the back where they put the grit down. I like to think that's what this thing is supposed to be, but it's some sort of digger loader thing, and it's got a bucket on the front that goes up and down. It's got a lot of nice detail. It's got like a cab at the front with transparent glass. It's got little lights up there. It's got little lights here. It's got very large wheels, pinned wheels, and it rolls really smoothly. This thing when you get it on a flat surface, but it rolls extremely well. It's got a lot of nice detailing down the side. It's got his Carbot sigil there. Obviously he's got these big drill things on the back and the big red claws, and yeah, it's decent weight to it. Nice, pegs together nice and solidly, and it's a cool looking vehicle. Nice looking construction vehicle. Not much to it. Like I said, it's the bucket just goes up and down, and it's like I said, it's a shame that the buckets don't tilt forward, but hey ho, that's what it is. Now this toy does have a bit of parts. You could call it parts forming. Like the bucket pieces, the drill pieces and the claw pieces are all on pegs, and they're all removable. So you can just pull them off. Like so. And then you can pull the bucket off as well. It comes off in two pieces. And then that leaves you with that. Now you can, if you want, you can give him some drill attachments on the front, and then you could put the bucket on the back, and you can put the clawy things up there, or you can mess around with it some more. If I can get them off again. And then you take the drills off the front, and then you can put the claws on the front. So then he's got like grabbing claws on the front, and it's got interchangeability with these parts. They've all got the same size large pegs. I don't know what size they are. They're probably about 8mm or something. They're bigger than 5mm anyway. So yeah, he's got some sort of parts forming elements with these accessory pieces, which now you can transform him without parts forming. You don't need to take them off and move them around. So if we go and put them back in their original spot, just give me a moment. And they slot in ever so easy. And there we go, he's back to his normal sort of mode. So yeah, the vehicle mode looks pretty cool. I like the look of it. Transformation is very straightforward. So we want to get into that. So I think the best thing to do is to grab the front, unhook the bucket because it does plug together, and then you grab these sides and sort of pull them out on these sort of hinge pieces like that. Right, turn it round, then we can do the legs. Take this back piece, bring it round, straighten the legs out, split the legs, and then fold up the feet, and that's the legs done. Now the arms, you take the wheels, you unplug them from these bucket sort of pieces, and then you fold that around like that and plug it into the shoulder. Same on this side, you unplug it like so, and then fold it round. Then you've got these the bucket pieces. They sort of fold round, and then you've got the fist, the robot's fist that comes round, and then that goes like that. That folds round up to there like that. And then finally you've got this piece here which folds down over his chest and plugs in. And I've just got to position that. And there we go. There is King Dozer in his robot mode. Now, when you look at him next to Starex Dandy, I mean, he's not as big, obviously. Starex Dandy is very large for a Carbot figure. He's very big. But look at the positioning of the kibble. Now, I mean, Starex Dandy has got like big chunks of his van mode on his shoulders. He's got like a big chunk of his van mode on his back. He's got chunks of the van on his arms, and he's got chunks on his legs. This guy, you can see he's got the wheels bunched upon his shoulders. He's got like buckets are on his hands. He's got them big claw things on his chest. He's got the cab sections on his knees, and he's got drills on his feet. So yeah, I mean, design wise, I think this guy looks really, really cool. He looks a lot more interesting than the likes of these two. You know, I mean, these two, yeah, they've got that typical generic sort of construction vehicle vibe going on with, you know, like the warning stripes and the bucket hanging over the shoulder. But, you know, it's fairly atypical of what you'd expect a robot from a construction vehicle to look like. This guy, you know, he's the kibble's all over the place. And when you look at his robot mode, it's difficult to sort of figure out exactly how the transformation works. And that's something to be said about his robotic design. Because, I mean, like I said, he's got the cab pieces on his knees. He's got these drills on his feet. He's got the bucket hands, wheel shoulders, and the claw chest. You know, really, really cool. And, you know, you go round, and he's quite a clean bot round the back, because all his stuff is hanging off his shoulders and off the front. And quite an interesting design. And looks pretty cool. Now, like I said, I really wanted this guy. And this figure, along with Green Farm, these two characters were supposed to appear in Season 9 of the Hello Carbot toy show, which was the same season that Pentastorm X appeared in. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, they never showed up in episodes of the show. They were shown quite clearly in the opening and closing credits of the show, but they never actually appeared in the show. Now, this movie, as I understand, is based during the time of Season 9 of the Hello Carbot show, because Pentastorm X is in it, Also, Power Cruisers in it as well, along with these two new Carbot figures which have been released. So they finally decided to release them in this new movie toy line. So they finally get an airing. So these guys should have come out like 3-4 years ago. Anyway, I like the look of his robot mode. I like the design they've gone for. I mean, you look at him next to, you know, an earlier. I mean, technically this guy was designed before this guy, but in terms of, you know, them actually being released, you know, this guy came first, this guy came second. And they've got very similar names because you've got like Max Dozer and King Dozer. And you know, that could lead to some confusion. There was at some point when I thought, I mean, I saw this guy was supposed to come out for, you know, season 9. And it was supposed to come out. And and then this figure came out. And I thought it was the same figure, just been redesigned. Same character, but apparently not. They're two totally different characters. But anyway, so, and let's obviously do the size comparison with the other guy. Yeah, I like the design. I really like the design on this guy. But when you actually get into his articulation and stuff, it's not quite so great. He does have some issues, some faults going on. Right, so now articulation, the head is on a ball joint, right? Wiggles from side to side, goes around. However, if I straighten him up, can you see a problem? The red claw things are in his field of vision. They're like sticking up like that in front of his face, and that is a design flaw on this character, unfortunately. I mean, you look at it from the side. You can see they're sticking up further than his eye line. So if you have him straight, you know, he's barely poking, head is like peering out between them. Now if you take them off, which you can do, then you've got that. And his head's still kind of sunken into this trough in the middle, because this whole piece here, like I said, you can lift it up, and there you've got his head's all freely visible, and he's got all this nice moulded detail on his chest, which isn't picked out in any paint. But then you've got that folds down, and then you've got his chest. Now, they could have improved the design of this. They could have had his head, so it was on a little thing which popped up, which means it sits proud of the, you know, the chest pieces. Or they could have, these holes, they could have drilled them holes or had them holes further down so that these things didn't stick so quite so far up. Or this whole hinged piece here, they could have sunk it down in the shoulders a bit deeper so that it sits lower and doesn't get in the way. But I don't know, for whatever reason, they decided to have this guy with these massive great red claws sticking up in front of his face, and he can't see what he's doing or going. Bit of a design oversight. They could have done something to address it, but they didn't, and there we go. Anyway, like I said, he's got a ball jointed head and he can't see very far going forwards. Shoulders, ratchet. Now he's hardly got any ratchets on this guy, and you've got a friction joint there, and you've also got that joint there. The arms, got an elbow 90 degrees. Now he has got a fist there, and you can plug into his fists the all the other accessories, you know, like the buckets and the drills. They will plug into his hands, but because you've got all this bucket chunk hanging off the side of his arm, and his arms are quite small as well. His arms are kind of weedy when if you take the bucket stuff away, you can see his arms just this little bit here, and then you've got these massive shoulder chunks, you know, sitting on top of them. So aesthetically, he's cool, but he's, you know, it's kind of hard to describe. Anyway, so yeah, he's got all this junk on his arm. Now you can extend it out, so it makes his arm go bigger, and obviously he's got the articulation joints for the bucket on the end. Yeah, he's got that. Kind of weird. Now the other thing, looks like he's got a waist joint, but he hasn't. It's fixed. It doesn't turn. Now that was a missed opportunity. They could have put a waist joint into this guy. There's a little bit of wiggle in it, so maybe it's like a square peg that's you know, fixed in there. I don't know. The waist friction joint, ratchet forwards and backwards. It's got a thigh swivel, no bicep swivels on the arms, obviously, and then you got 90-degree bend at the knee, and then the foot for transformation just, it's got like a toe bend up and down. So he's got basic articulation. Unfortunately, because of the design of him, the chest design and the arm design, he's a bit limited in what you can actually do with him dynamically posing wise. No ankle tilts, no bicep swivels. He's a bit strange in that respect. He looks cool, don't get me wrong. I love the look of this guy, but you know, when you actually get into it, you know, you start messing around with it, you realise the limitations of the design, and the way he's been built is a bit strange and unusual, and they could have done better, unfortunately. Yeah, so size comparison with Combiner Wars Megs. As you can see, he's slightly shorter than a typical leader class figure, and yeah, next to stablemate from the movie, Green Farm. Then next to Max Dozer. And then Power Loader. And finally Dandy. Dandy towers over him. Yeah, before I finish off this review, quick look at the box, because usually I do this first. There's the box. It's same design as box as the other one, as Green Farm. It's got Chatan on the front. It's got his name there, and obviously it's on the top in English there, King Dozer. Secret of the Suspicious... Secret of the Suspicious Magic Troupe, yeah. And it's got pictures on the side, it's got pictures on the back, more pictures on the side. And the product information is in this panel on the bottom as well. So yeah, typical box, and it's in a cardboard runner inside, as with the others, you know, very environmentally friendly. So that's it. It's weird because I really wanted to love this thing, and I do like it a lot. There are things about it I do really like, most notably the aesthetic, you know, the look of it compared to them other construction toy, you know, Korean figures that I've got. He just looks a lot more interesting and different than they do. Unfortunately, when you get down to it, when you start messing with him, you realise that, you know, there's some things on it which could have been done better. Oh yeah, before I go, obviously the interchangeability with the parts on the vehicle mode also work on the robot mode. They unplug, they're on a peg. So if you want, you can give him drill tits. Yes, you can do that. Or you can get the buckets and plug them together and give him a bucket chest. So yeah, it's got that interchangeability with him. Pretty cool. As I said, you know, you can plug the accessories in his fists as well, though there is limited clearance there to do that. he's pretty good. He's got a lot of stuff going on, but overall he's a tad disappointing in some areas, and it's a weird one. I mean, they obviously made some fundamental errors in his design, which I'm surprised they didn't notice that, you know. But then again, you know, it's just a toy for kids. Kids probably wouldn't matter. They'd just think, oh, he's got big clawy things on his chest, you know. They'd be too busy looking at the big red claws on his chest and the fact that he can't actually see over them, you know. Of course, if you tilt his body forwards, then I mean, he can't even tilt his head back really to do that either. So yeah, it's just little things like that. But you know, he's a very solid toy. He's very well made. You know, typical Korean figure, and it's all right. It's good. If you want to buy one of these for yourself, I would not recommend buying them off eBay because the eBay scalpers are asking silly amounts of money for this. You can try 11th Street or G Market. Again, it's the shipping that kills you. I mean, the shipping is really expensive at the moment, especially, you know, with the price of the pound being driven down against the dollar. It's like really expensive to import these things into the UK at the moment. Yeah, so you know you've got to just look around and see what you want to get. But anyway, I've got it. I've gave you my thoughts on it, for better or for worse. If you want to give this guy a try, then you know, go online and buy yours. But that's been my review 250, 250th review. Like I said, I'm level pegging with Thew Adams. Not that means anything. Yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed this review. I will catch you all next time. Next month, I will probably be buying minifigures because I've got a lot on my plate next month. I've got the MCM Comic Con to go to, and there's a few other things going on. And you know, I mean, this guy nearly cost me 70 quid to buy from G Market. You know, it was £69 something, and that's a lot of money. That's like borderline too much than I want to pay for these things. But I managed to get Green Farm from the same seller, same price, for £61 because I used a load of vouchers on them. So yeah, that's the thing. That's it. Again, like I said, hope you enjoyed this review 250. I will catch you all next time. Ta-da.